Hola. Hola, mi gente. I'm in Cartagena, Colombia. About to go live on IG as well. I'll give you all a chance to show up. About to go live. Hello. Hold up. Let me go live on IG. Why are they having problems with IG? Hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm about to talk to you. But I want to be on my two cameras. Oh, not connected to Wi-Fi. That's the problem. Okay, now it is. All right. I'm about to go. Okay. Okay. Now I am on IG and YouTube. There's more light in the IG camera. Hey, people. So, I like to do my videos in the daytime with the daylight. That's the best light. This is nighttime. I'm out in the balcony. Got that nighttime light. But I couldn't help having to do this video. I was going to wait till the morning, but I couldn't help it. Because right now I'm in Cartagena, and this is my second time here. I came here last May of 2018, and I just touched down tonight. So I had a long day of traveling, so never mind how I'm just greasy and I look like I need my beauty sleep. But I love this place because, like New York, like right now it's 11:39, and I just left out of this restaurant. People are still coming there, sitting there and eating. So you can still get food. There's places that's saying they're open to 2 in the morning. And there's a lot of Afro-Americans here, actually. And so much so that you can't tell, like, sometimes who's Colombian and who is maybe Black American. And so that's actually surprising how many Afro-Americans are coming to Cartagena. And a lot of really good-looking Black men down here. So to all the ladies, this is a good place to find some good-looking Black men, whether they be Colombian Black men or American. There's some good-looking American Black men down here too. And the food is so good. Oh my God. So I just finished eating like a big plate of fried moraja, which is fish from here. This is big fish that was fried with coconut rice. Now I've had rice and peas with coconut from like other places, but this is coconut rice from Cartagena, and it's so good. And patacones or tostones, and they were like perfect. So I had that with Lulu con leche, which is one drink. Lulu is a fruit from here, con leche, with milk, but the milk is so light you barely taste the milk, right? And then, but I needed my ice cream fix. And I had another one, piña con leche, which is pineapple and milk, and then a margarita. And all of that was $16, okay? And that was like the more expensive prices here, okay? So that is a big thing of fried fish, coconut rice, and tostones, or pantecones. A drink with Lulu and milk, pineapple and milk, and then a margarita. And the fruit tastes, all for $16. And the fruit tastes so fresh, right? And then the music here, it reminds me of my neighborhood in New York. It reminds me of Washington Heights. I like to be in a city where I see people. I like to be in a city where I hear things. I'm not one of those people that's like, I need absolute silence. No, I love to hear sounds, the sounds of people living, you know, the sounds of music that makes you want to dance. And that's how it is whenever I'm in Latin America, especially Cuba and Colombia. It's definitely like that. Costa Rica wasn't like that. Ah, my Instagram live ended. Why'd that happen? Hold on 1 second. Okay, I don't know why the IG live died just now, but this is part 2. Parte dos on the last IG that stopped. Okay. The food here is so flavorful. Oh yeah. So like right now, I don't know if you can hear the noise, but there's music playing, and so it's a lot of Latin music, and then a lot of reggae, And in Cartagena, they love something called champeta, and I studied champeta last time I came here. And champeta is an Afro-Colombian dance that is really dope. So in Colombia, they actually, well, especially for Cartagena, because Cartagena is the only part of Colombia I've been to this far. I'm going to go to Medellin on Saturday. But this is my second time in Cartagena, and it won't be my last, right? But in Cartagena, they listen to a lot of African music. Like, if you listen to the popular African music that's coming out now, they listen to a lot of that in Cartagena, but it'll be in Spanish. And they do a dance called champeta, which is very African. Dope as shit. Latin America has such a rich Afro, like whether it be Cuba, DR, Puerto Rico, Peru, Colombia, like there's such a wide variety of Afro diasporic expressions in Latin America. Colombia is super dope, super unique. Colombians have very good taste in music, And Colombia is also the textile capital of South America. So the art and the colors and everything is so beautiful. I'm so happy here. And just like the air is humid. It's so humid. And, the Airbnb that I'm staying at, it's just, just me. It's an apartment to myself with a balcony and like a really happening part of the city where I go downstairs, there's tons of restaurants, $45 a night. Very nice, very modern, I really love Colombia. Like, I really love Cuba, and I've made a lot of videos about Cuba, but I love Colombia too. And it's kind of like Colombia, the thing I like about it is the food is a lot better than Cuba. And in Colombia, the food is so good. Oh my gosh. But it's so funny because just like Cuba, they love hamburgers, they love pizza. And it's like, I didn't come to Colombia to eat hamburgers and pizza. Like, and they will still, when I tell them, no quiero comida americano, then they say, oh, but this is Colombian pizza. I'm like, I don't want Colombian pizza, okay? I'm from New York. I currently live in Chicago. I don't want Colombian pizza. I want Colombian food. Traditional Colombian food is good. So, oh yeah, that's the other part of my dinner. The first they brought a soup, right? Because I like to study traditional foods, and they brought this soup. I don't even know what the hell. I don't even know what was in the soup, right? It was like pieces of something. I don't know if it was meats and seafood, but then there were bones in it. Like, so it was some type of broth where there were lots of little bones, and then pieces of corn on the cob. So it kind of looked like sancocho, which Dominicans make, but I don't think it was sancocho, but it was something like that. It was some kind of traditional soup, big hearty soup. It was good. Lots of little bones in it. Don't know exactly what it was. And it seems like it would have been rude to even ask or to say, oh, I don't eat that, Whatever it was, I think it was healthy. It had little herbs and stuff in it. And then big thing of frito maraja, which is like a mojada. It's a Colombian fish. It's huge with the head on, the eyeballs, and everything. Then the patacones or tostones y coconut rice, a drink of pineapple and milk, then Lulu milk, and a margarita, all for $16. Yes, and it was so good. And there's so many good-looking Black people in Cartagena. I can't wait to see what Medellin is like. But it's funny because I'm walking down the street, and these two guys, like sometimes you can't tell. It reminds me of my neighborhood in New York because literally I grew up in a neighborhood in Washington Heights, and There's a lot of Dominicans and Afro-Americans, and the Dominicans look just like me and my family. So when I was a kid, I used to be confused because they were speaking Spanish. They look just like my family. And I'm like, Dad, I thought they were black. He's like, they are black. They're black Dominicans. Same thing here, though. You can't tell because people here, they have like similar styles, so you can't tell if you're looking at a Colombian or American, right? So I'm walking down the street, and it's so black here. And these two dudes, one of the dudes said something to me, and then when he saw that I could speak English, he's like, oh. And then he's like, asked me where I'm from, and I said I'm from New York. Him and his friend are from Toronto. And the funny thing is I really liked his friend, but he just kept talking to me, a little short one. I'm looking down at him like, and his friend is nice and tall. I'm like, why are you still standing here talking to me? Like, listen, little one. Sometimes the little men like the tall women, but little dude, I wish you would move to the side so I could talk to your tall friend. But whatever. The whole point is, there's a lot of, it's popping down here. And I came to Cartagena. I didn't come here for touristy stuff. Like, I never travel to do touristy stuff. I came here because I'm very into Afro-Colombian dance. I'm very into the food here. Like, as a nutritionist, I'm always studying foods and food systems, especially somebody who's aware of global systems, you know. But I'm not a big fan of Caribbean food. I like South American food, like Central American and South American food. Give me some Mexican food. Give me some Peruvian food. Give me some Colombian, some Venezuelan. I'll take that over Cuban, Puerto Rican, or Dominican food any day. Or Jamaican food, just saying. But Colombian food is super duper good. And so I study the food systems like Latin America. Every time I'm in Latin America, they're obsessed with margarine and powdered milk. And the Airbnb I'm staying in, the woman, like, there's a kitchen and everything. She's like, oh, we have fresh garlic here for you if you need it, and margarine. And it's like, okay, fresh garlic is great. That's medicine. But margarine is, like, who is still using margarine in 2019? People in Latin America, right? Trying to get butter sometimes can be very hard to come by. And so just like I study food systems, so when people talk about, like, you know, this, I've heard a lot of Caribbean people act as if they eat better in the Caribbean. But when I'm in the Caribbean, a lot of times I see the same process. Sometimes I have a harder time getting real ingredients, you know. So I study that too. So in Colombia, I'm studying the food systems. But I just love a dope city. And I feel really at home in Latin America for some reason. It could be because my family's from Florida on both sides. Florida is a part of that Spanish colony thing. It could be that. I don't know. But I love the dancing in a lot of Latin American countries. And this is the reason why Costa Rica bores me so much, because they don't really have a strong dance and music tradition. I'm into dancing and music. I don't just come here. And then like I also have said in a lot of my videos, there's lots of indigenous people in Colombia. So I wish people would stop acting as if the indigenous people in North America, the indigenous people in the Caribbean, and the indigenous people in South America are all wiped away. I mean, South America is probably the strongest, so where people will admit it the most that they see indigenous people, but they're also in North America too. I have indigenous blood on both sides of my family, and most black people I know have indigenous blood on both sides of their family. But there's a lot of Native Americans in North America as well. People just think that they're Asian or they're black or they're something else. And here, you definitely see it. The skin tone is different. Like, I feel like when I'm in some place like Colombia, maybe even Cuba, you know, places like that, they look more like my family than if I were to be in Africa. You know, and a lot of that has to do with that indigenous mix. But you see it strong here. And you see, because indigenous people from South America are not light skinned. They have a red in their skin, and it glows and it shines a certain way. The hair texture is a certain way, you know, and it's beautiful. But I just really, really love Colombia. And it's a great place to learn Spanish because, of course, I don't know how people could come here and not speak Spanish, some Spanish, because most people here don't speak English, so you're going to have to speak some Spanish. But they're a lot easier to understand to me than a lot of people. I don't know why. Caribbean Spanish, like when I was in Cuba, I had a lot harder time understanding them. except for in Santiago de Cuba. Santiago de Cuba, I understood them better than Havana. But in Colombia, I understand it very clearly. And yeah, that's how to make this video. Just wanted to give my little 2 cents about Cartagena. And when I got off the plane here, there were people from all over. You know, it's a very safe place. It's not like what it used to be. Very, very safe. So I'm at this Airbnb in a very safe part of town. A lot of people staying at Airbnbs. I bumped into different Afro-Americans from Canada. The woman whose Airbnb this is, she's Colombian, but she's also Canadian. And there's a view, it's nighttime, but there's a view of the beach right there. And then there's a lake, and then there's 2 pools in the building for $45 a night. Very nice studio. Okay. So for me, I would rather come here than to go to Miami. Like, I'm really not a fan of Miami. It's really overrated. But places like, there's so many dope places in Colombia. There's so many, just, you know, this is my spot. So I'm gonna stop talking so I can go decompress for the evening, and I'll report back again tomorrow. I think I said everything I wanted to say tonight. And yeah, just visit Colombia if you can. It's really dope. Okay, have a good night, people.